What's going on? What's going on, everyone? Happy Monday. Hello to all the bosses far and near, old and new. Hope all is well with y'all. Listen, today has been an interesting day. I have really been kind of tuned in to BluFace and Nevaeh and their schoolyard education. Since he liked to holler schoolyard crip, now I hear him on the holler school crip. But anyways, listen. When I look at them and listen to them, I feel like it's teacher versus student. He's trying to educate her, explain to her, try to rationalize what he expects from her without a ring, a proposal, or marriage. And listen, that's not unusual because he's not going to let us forget that, she came straight out the shelter, with her kid, and she ain't got to do nothing. He taking care of the house. Listen, one thing about it, and two things for sure. If your man, especially your baby daddy, say you ain't got to work, you ain't got to do none but take care of the house, he got it all. He coming home 2 and 3 days a week, breaking you off $10,000, $15,000. Bitch, that's a job. Let me tell you something. That is a job. Taking care of the house, cleaning up behind him, washing clothes, cooking, cleaning up behind yourself, your child, and the dog. Now you got a new baby. Now you're having to take care of that baby. And the one thing I will say that he has forgotten is the fact that she just barely had that baby a week ago. But at the same time, I look at him and I judge how he speaks to her, how he talks to her, how he calls her out of her name, how he belittles her and emotionally abuses her. I have to look at her and say she really is dumb as a box of rocks. Like her self esteem is gone. I think her motivation and inspiration is gone. One thing I can say about that man, with the baby mamas that were there before her and Bella Real, whatever the new girl name is he has definitely inspired them to do better, to make money. He has shown them, talked to them, educated them, groomed them, managed them. He has tried to show them the ropes. I give him that. I can't take that away from him. Another thing about Blueface is he doesn't start yelling and screaming and cussing and breaking shit and throwing shit. That's me. I would do that. But he is usually very calm spoken, even though he be saying some nasty stuff. He keeps it all monotone, same voice, same level. It's just the severity of the things that he says that can be hurtful. But here's the thing. The reality of it is, like he said, they're two different people. They have two different roles. He said, I get up, go out every day and make some shit happen and take care of home. All you have to do is take your son to school, come home, cook, clean, feed the baby, and then you can lay down. You can lay down for the rest of the day if you want to. And really, a man can't ask for more than that. But when I sit down and look at her and the fact that he day in and day out, he beats her down for being in a homeless shelter with her kid, he gives her no credit. He always quick to say, don't nobody want you but me. Don't nobody want you but me, whether that's true or not. One thing about it is she knew where to go. She had somewhere to go with her child. They were not sleeping outside in the elements on the ground, all of the things. She went to a safe location for her and her child. Even though he claimed your mama wasn't there, your daddy wasn't there, your grandma, nobody came to save you, you ended up having to go to a shelter. But she went somewhere. She took care of her kid. Now, I have to admit, I agree with him. Ain't no need in calling your daddy, getting him riled up. You talking shit, he talking shit. Cause like he say, I have to agree with him. Now, I don't agree with a lot of things that he do and say, but when he telling the truth, he telling the truth, and you can't take that away from him. Your daddy didn't put you in this position. Your daddy didn't choose for you. You chose to be in this position. You knew what you was dealing with. Not only did you choose to stay, you chose to get pregnant and have a baby by me. And you have chosen and told the whole internet you ain't going nowhere, so the girls might as well stop trying to make you go. Now, when I heard her say that, all I could think of was her self esteem is down. She could possibly be going through the baby blues. It is a little bit soon to go through the baby blues, but because we've seen him help her, but she could be going through postpartum blues. Now, the bigger reality of what I see is when I hear her talk, when I see how she act, when I hear him ask her a question and she go all over in left field and back around the blue yonder instead of just giving a straight answer to the point, is that she does not want to go back to the struggle, to the streets, to homelessness. She doesn't want to be that single mother with two kids and don't have anybody to help her. That's what I see her doing. And if she's going to take that verbal and emotional abuse for him, the very least she could do is make him put a ring on it. Now, listen, he is not husband material. This is a fact. We all know this. He is not somebody you want to marry. But the one thing I can say about him being a baby daddy, at least as far as she's concerned, he was there for Javon and Journey. No problems. He tried to be there for Krishan Jr., but his mama was a retard. So, he had to leave that. And whether that's his or not, when he was there, he was trying to do the right thing. When she came in with Superior, he was the stepdad, and he was spending time with him, talking with him, playing with him, explain. He was filling in for the daddy that is not around Superior. And now that the new baby is here, I have to say, I admit I like him. Hey, Sassy. Hey, Love Bug. I miss you. I have to say, I enjoy watching him be around Jonathan Jr. I like his interaction. I like how, he deals with the baby, he plays with the baby. Now, I didn't like him letting the baby suck on his nipple. I didn't like that shit. I thought that was gross. But for the most part, I enjoyed seeing the interaction between them. I'm good, baby, holding on day by day. But as they was in the car today and they was having they fallout and everything, I listened to him and it hurt me every time in the car, at the house, outside, at the restaurant, in the yard, when he called her all kind of, bees and hoes and 304s and all of the things in front of Superior. That hurts me because you're showing a soon to be young man, a little boy, her son, not yours. You're showing him a bad impression of a man or what a real man's supposed to be. Now, maybe he's less than a real man, but we're going to get into it. You're saying these hurtful things to his mama in front of him. And I've seen Superior a few times stand up and tell him, don't say that to my mama. Don't say that about my mama. You're teaching him how to treat women, whether it's intentional or not intentional. And he should be conscientious of that, given the fact that he's got an older son. Now, him and Jaden's life has always been rugged because Jaden approved she ain't no punk. He ain't never talked to Jaden like that. The few times that he went in on her, she snapped back at him so quick. And I believe I recall a time or two when she reached up and touched his face a couple of times or swung and attempted to get him up off of her. And I think he likes that rugged part of a woman. I think he likes a strong woman who don't mind standing up and speaking. The difference between Jaden and Nevaeh is I don't think Jaden has ever been in a position where she was homeless with her kids. I don't think she's been in a position where she was down so bad that a man can throw that in her face. I believe that Jayden, who pretty much grew up with Blue's mom, she knows how to cook and how to clean and how to take care of the kids. You know, her and Carlissa both admitted to it. She taught us some about seasoning and things and whatnot. But Nevaeh is a little bit different. Yes, she does a little bit of cooking. She does. I can't say that I've really seen her do a lot of cleaning because when I'm listening, I can't watch, so I don't really know what she's doing. But he's always fussed from Krishan to Nevaeh about keeping the house clean, keeping the house clean. And if a man tell you you don't have to work, stay at home, he got everything, don't worry about it, done bought you a car, doing all the things, helping you with your son, then that's the least you could do. Because if a man is breaking you off 10, 25, $30,000 a month, that is a job, my love. And you get up just like everybody else, especially when you got a young child that should be going back and forth to kindergarten, kindergarten, or first grade, either one, pick one. You should be getting up, getting him off to school, getting up, getting breakfast, getting him ready, get him off to school, come on back, mess with the house, do your thug this, and then sit on your ass for the rest of the day. By the time old boy get home, get up and cook him dinner. But I think Nevaeh is hurt by his activities out in the street, and that's the part that angers me. Because one thing he said that never was a lie, she chose this life. She has watched him for a year be a hoe. She has watched him play in her face. And honestly, I've only really heard him call her a couple of bitches when his bipolar act up, when he get triggered. And trust, I know that feeling better than anybody, I believe. Because if you say stupid shit to me, if I'm asking you a question and you respond with a stupid answer, it does trigger me. Because I'm like, nigga, can you stop and think before you open your mouth? Think before you speak. Do you hear how you sound? You sound retarded. There's something wrong with you. He asked her a question. What time did she get up this morning? Do you know that bitch went all the way down the timeline from 6 o'clock, waking up, changing the baby diaper, changing her diaper, doing this, going back to sleep, waking back up, doing this, doing that, going back to sleep. I got up at 11. Then he ended up having to come back, show her she was wrong, and she wanted to argue that she didn't wake up at 1 o'clock. But then when he finally broke down and said, what time did you cook? She said, it was 1 o'clock. He said, okay, you just said minutes ago. And she said, he said, you didn't need to tell me all about what happened at 6, 9, and 10, 11. He said, that's what triggered me. It triggered me too, Blue. Because the question was plain, cut, dry, and simple. What time did you get up? If you needed to go through the alphabet in your head with your mouth closed until you worked your way up to 1 o'clock, then that's what you do. Don't speak until you can say what time you got up. Because if you gonna speak fast and lie, if you gonna speak fast, well, I didn't mean that, I didn't mean to say that, then you spoke too fast. Shut the fuck up and think about what you're saying. Because if you're busy trying to talk and add lies and add lib and keep from just coming on out with the truth, then that means not only can you not tell 100% of the truth, but you knew you was wrong and you was ashamed. That's why you was bullshitting with 6, 9, 10 and tried to stop it at 11 when it was very obvious to her own admission that she didn't get up basically until 1 o'clock. Then he cut her low and said, you didn't even take your child to school. Now, I have been hearing the internet session, the little boy ain't in school, talking about she can't get him in school because something about she ain't switched over the address or something and she got to do all this. Well, you've been spending all your time sitting around looking at your phone, watching this man stream, when what you're watching hurts your spirit, it hurts your heart, it hurts your soul, it hurts your feeling. Why do you sit up and put yourself in a depressed state watching a nigga that's going to do what he going to do regardless of what you talking about? And since he the breadwinner, how about you focus on your son instead of giving all your attention to a nigga that's dogging you into the ground because you can't do for yourself? Now you got a baby. You just had the baby. The baby ain't a week old. He ain't giving her no room. No rest, no break, no understanding, but he quick to say, hell, I got 3 kids. I know how it is. A man can't have postpartum. She said, no, only a woman. Well, when they got to argue, you know me, I went straight to Google and looked it up. And the way the internet says it is that new fathers can have postpartum depression, postpartum blues. New fathers. That's the operative word. Every different definition, every different article I read kept referring to new. Well, he not no new father. This baby is new for him with her. But he got three other kids, or two that he claimed, and one is questionable. So he's not really a new father, but hey, maybe since he spent the whole 9 months with him, maybe that makes him a new father, don't know. But men can have postpartum depression. Just to give everybody a little bit of education, they can. They can. And I cannot lie, I was triggered as well. He said, what time you get up? She should have sat there, thought about it, went down the timeline in her head, 6, 8, 7. Well, I got up about 1 o'clock. And why? Because I was up and down with the baby. And so I was tired, I didn't feel good, and I just had the baby a week. So I get this week, actually, I get 2 weeks to do what I want to do, be lazily around. But she couldn't even use that excuse because she had fucked it up 30 minutes prior when she was asking him about how much should she charge to get on stream with somebody else. Now, to some, that may be a little bit too much for you. It may go over your head, you don't understand. But from his standpoint, and I'm not defending him, I'm just saying I can definitely see how when he gets triggered, he goes way ham to the left field. When the man say you're not cooking, you cook some neck bones and rice, that pissed him off the other day. You've been cooking that damn soup. He said that's voodoo soup. He didn't like it. He wasn't going to eat it no more. He started eating before he come home. You're doing all the stupid shit. He walking through the house mad, kicking clothes, talking about you ain't doing laundry, da-da-da-da-da. You shouldn't be talking about doing nothing else other than trying to do what he asked you to do, which is take care of the house, right? Some people don't understand that. But there are people out here that bend over backwards to do everything they can for their other half. And sometimes the niggas don't appreciate it. What's up, 23? What's up, babe? And the niggas still don't appreciate it. But, you can be a fool. Just don't be no damn fool. Don't let no nigga play in your face unless you're just that desperate in life. You have nothing going for you. You can't do nothing but sit in this nigga face, take his physical or verbal and emotional abuse because you just can't do nothing else. That's all you can do. That's what you want to do. You love him. And she said when she was pregnant, she was absolutely cuckoo over Cocoa Puffs for him. It is a lie. Now she not pregnant no more, and he talking all this shit, still calling her all kind of bees and hoes. Now she's annoyed. You been annoyed, but you keep telling the world you ain't going nowhere. So you know what? When you done already made it up in your mind you ain't leaving, shut your ass up. Don't be complaining. Don't be crying. Don't be calling your mama, daddy, sister, auntie, cousin, bitching and complaining. If you need somebody to talk to about it, talk to God. Talk to your best friend. Talk to somebody in peace and private. But understand that if you're talking to somebody that's going to keep it 100 and not pat you on the head and rub you on the chest and make you think everything is peachy keen, if you're not going to be able to handle the truth, then don't talk about it to nobody. Because at the end of the day, she made that decision to stay with him through thick and thin all. He ain't even proposed to her, so she's taking this abuse all because, in my opinion, she don't want to find herself back in a homeless shelter. Least you could do is keep it cute enough for the nigga to put a ring on your finger. He sits up and tell you when he finna go sleep with other bitches. He sits up and tell you when he finna go do whatever. He gets on the stream and lets you see him with these girls kissing and rubbing and closing the door with and you watch it. You watch it. Do you know that self sabotage? You're draining your own spirit. You're draining your own energy. You are removing your own happiness because you so into him and what he doing that you can't take care of your own seed. Now the internet been saying, "Oh, hey, you know what? It's for a show. It may be for a show, but you know what? With the way he is filming their life 24/7, the curtains have been pulled down 23. Now we see the raw and uncut version. We see it raw and uncut. So whether it's for a show or not, you are living your reality in front of the whole world. So she doesn't even understand the fact that sometimes when he started going off in left field, it's best to just shut the fuck up. Just let him rent out, go through your phone, play games, talk to your son, whatever you need to do. But if you keep feeling like you got to get jazzy, because he been telling her she got a smart mouth, she been trying to be slick and all of the things. So it seemed like you have to wait till he either come off that high or he get himself calmed down where he can talk to you respectfully. He got a now baby coming soon, the girl. Yeah, Rella B, whatever her name is, and they said she about high risk right now. She just barely what, 5 or 6 months? But he made some points. When she called her dad and tried to instigate him, he was losing his shit. Now, the difference between him and another dude would have been knocked her ass out in front of that camera, forgot that he on parole and he can go back to the penitentiary. But good thing about it, he didn't put his hands on her, so I have to give him his flowers for that. He did not put his hands on her. But when I tell you he told her the truth, don't call your dad and put him in our shit and make shit weird. Because I like your dad. I'm cool with your dad. But you put him in it like he gonna do something to me. And I thought, okay, she don't realize he triggered. And something else I noticed between him and all his baby mamas is when they get triggered and they get mad, they start telling all of the secrets. Have y'all noticed that? He doing good with that kid. He is. I give him his flowers the way he handled Jonathan Jr. I hate that he got so much love for Jonathan Jr., but he acting like Superior is not a little boy that's very impressionable right now because he looks up to Blue, even though that's not his daddy. He looks up to him. But let me tell you, every time he triggered Jaden tell a secret. Every time he triggered Krishan tell a secret. They both done told about the drugs. They both done told about he liked getting his butthole ate. They both done told about, slobbering and look. We all know what he experienced when he was locked up. So we ain't got to talk about that. And I laugh about it because not once have I heard him come in and defend it or talk down about it. Deny it, defend it, throw it. Not one time. That doesn't mean that's necessarily true. But I just find it interesting that when he gets triggered, he doesn't have anything to say. He said a few things about Krishan, but hell, all the men that she done messed with done had something to say about her, so that's nothing new. But I hate that he does that in front of Superior. He's very impressionable. And I can understand him being a grown man and not feeling like he got to tell her every single thing to do. Babe, get up and get Superior ready and get him to school. Babe, get up and fix breakfast. I got to go to the studio. Babe, today I want you to wash the clothes, vacuum, mop, and that. Like, I can understand he doesn't want to have to give her those instructions. She's not a kid. She's an adult the same way he is. And I think that she is leaning on that baby to keep them together when that is going to be one of her downfalls. He does need to be in school, absolutely. Well, while I was listening to the video, I was down in the comments and they said the baby dad was in the chat. He was in the chat talking shit, but I'm sure at some point later on tonight I'll run up on the video where they talking about what the baby dad had to say. But listen, like he said, ain't nobody finna come and save you when you didn't have nowhere to go with your child. Didn't nobody save you from your grandma, your mama, your daddy, your brother, your sister, your cousins, your auntie. They let you walk out into the street with a baby. Nobody didn't come to save you. I don't know about y'all, but that screams a conversation. That screams a conversation. Maybe at some point everybody tried to help you, but the way her choice of living or her living style they didn't agree with, so they didn't offer to give her another place. Maybe they said let her figure it out. And here's the deal. I don't think Nevaeh is done by any means. I think she's a little gullible, and I think that she's in love. I think that she doesn't want to be back in that position where she got to struggle and fend for herself, call and beg and borrow and plead and do all of the things when she got a nigga right now to give her everything that she want and some and what she don't want. But Nevaeh is still young and in a position where she could go and get a part-time job if she don't want to get a full-time job to keep her mind preoccupied, to make her own little bit of money. You know what I'm saying? Blue gonna get that baby. I don't know about if he gonna get that baby or not, but I'm gonna tell you something. What he gonna fuck around and do is they gonna violate him and he going back to the penitentiary. Now, when she was on the phone with her dad, I noticed he made a what the boys in blue would call would be a terroristic threat because he threatened to stop that motherfucker's esophagus from flowing air in and out. And that's not something he did that on camera in front of the world. Whether they bleeped out what your mouth said, nigga, we looking at your lips. The internet read your lips. We heard exactly what you said. You made a threat to her dad. Now, when he came back talking about, I'm sorry, give me a kiss, and she wasn't feeling it, but she had to give him one before he fuck around and make them pull over on the side of the freeway and kick her out. But she had to play into it. But you know what? I didn't take his apology as sincere as what some people took it as. You know what I took it as? I took it as somebody in that chat wrote down something. Y'all call the police and tell them that he threatened to ex-nate her daddy. Y'all call him and report him to his PO. And then that nigga was like, let me clean it up. Because at the end of the day, if somebody threatens you, the question always comes to the victim and said, do you want to press charges or not? So for him to try to clean it up, it tells it gives a big message, an unspoken message. Number one, I need to clean it up because that's the right thing to do, sincere or not. Number two, I better try to clean it up and hope that she's gullible enough not to press charges on me and to talk her daddy out of press charges. But most importantly, if he goes back to jail, bitch, you ain't make no money to pay rent like gas and water and phone. Now she might be able to make it on the stream, but can she handle business? Can she make those type of big payments? Can she keep it going without whack 100 or Bodine? Will she need some help? She absolutely will. Because it sounds like she has not been able to stand on her own. That apartment she keep bragging about, talking about he paying for. Well, if he paying for it, you ain't standing on your own. I was thinking at first maybe the government helped her. Maybe she had some Section 8, some food stamp. She said he paid for it. And according to the conversation that was had, he done paid the apartment up for a year straight. But when the year is over with, if he's still locked up, now you done lost your apartment and you stand a chance of losing his house. Because if I recall that conversation, I think he paid something like $10,000 a month or so. Right? If they running back and forth to the crab house and he tipping each employee $100, then I would say he's making his little money. They laughed about them getting swatted. He got swatted and damn near went to jail today, I believe. Oh, yesterday or today, I can't remember how I got twisted. But they laughed and joked about it. But bitch, if they violate him, what is you gonna do? Maybe those are the things she's planning, but she don't know how to present it. So the way she presented to a man already wearing the pants and taking care of everything seems disrespectful when her priority should be making sure his home is a happy place for him to come back and forth to. And that's I think what really tricked. I listen. I ain't gonna lie. I got pissed off too. She started talking about streaming. I'm like, bitch, you see the two houses? I didn't see the other house, but I did see Krishan saying that she was moving into it. Now, I know Nevaeh don't have no choice, but I wish somebody would tell her, well, bitch, if you're gonna be dumb enough to stay here and take it, at least let the nigga marry you. So if one of these red, green, blue, purple, black, gray, orange, yellow, if one of them colors happen to take him out, at least you can get the life insurance policy. At least your child can get the Social Security death benefit from their dad getting taken out. She's not thinking clearly. She's not planning because love got her stuck on stupid. Seen it too many times before. But only twice where the man felt like because he paying the cost to be the boss, he can just do what he wants, say what he want, act like he won't, when can't nobody do nothing. Yeah, I told y'all the story about my friend. She grabbed that baby and was like, watch this shit. We getting the fuck up out of here. You got me fucked up. Well, I'm not taking nothing. He was whole flat foot cheating the whole time. We done rolled up on him. I can't get into what we did. We had a little fun. You know what I'm saying? We did our big one and laughed about it and all of the things. Now they're divorced. Now he want to act like the man she married. But she don't want to take him back. She let him come see his kids, go on about his business, do whatever, and that's it. But Nevaeh, she seems slow. When he started talking to her about her kid needing to be in school, but you rather ask him, do he want to go play with the famous kids, the celebrity kids? And she said, yeah. And he turned his head. I know he was trying to rationale, make it make sense what she was saying. And instead of her shutting up and seeing his wheels spinning and that he had been quiet, she kept talking. Now I was like, you know what, this is a good time. Go ahead on and slap her ass in the face because she done pissed me off. Then she gonna say, and I'm glad he didn't go to school today because look at where we at now. I would be late picking him up. He turned around and looked at her. I raised up and looked at her and said, are you retarded for real? Something's wrong with her. Because here's the thing. If you know Junior got a doctor's appointment today, and you know how far it take for y'all to get to the appointment and how far it's going to take for y'all to get back to the appointment, that's when you tell your man, babe, I really want you to come go to the doctor's appointment with me, but Superior's at school, we're not going to make it back in time. Can you help me pick him up? But that, like he said, she don't listen. So she will forever be the dumb bitch, the stupid bitch. He gonna do everything he can. He walks over her, and like he told her, until I start calling you bitches and hoes, you don't really be listening and paying attention. As soon as I start calling you out your name, then you shut up and you get into. If she likes that type of abuse, then she's doomed. And so are the kids. Because the kids are an extension of the parents. He may not know, the Superior, he sure don't. Because she don't spend no time with him. And like the internet say, all she do all day is walk around holding that baby, holding that baby, holding that baby, holding that baby. That little bitch gonna be spoiled in the minute where you can't lay him down. Then he gonna be hollering and crying every time somebody try to lay him down. Like, girl, you can put that baby in the... But I had to think about it. While Superior is there, she kind of can't lay the baby down and walk away because hell, he might go pick him up, drop him on his damn head. But if he in school, then she can get a break. She act like she's so tuned in. Yes, women have had a number of kids. That don't mean they can't get up and function just because they had a baby. That don't mean nothing. When the baby go to sleep, at least the first week or two, when the baby go to sleep, you go to sleep. But when you get up and you get him fed and burp him and you lay him down, and that's when you have to go into action, getting some more bottles ready, washing dishes, washing clothes. You got to get some shit done before he wake up again. If she had one and she did the work, this is something she should be in tune to. But her actions with Junior show she wasn't in tune to it with Superior. The baby like he limp. He gonna get that baby head. Listen, Superior is bad and he need his ass whooped. And maybe she don't believe in spanking her kids. I know one of my baby daddies didn't, but well, actually both of my baby daddies they didn't believe in that shit either. Uh, but if you let it go too far, it'll be too late to bring them back. And at the rate they're going with him saying the things that he says about her in front of that little boy, he's going to remember that stuff as he gets older. He's going to be saying those things to girls, and he's going to expect girls to take it. Now the difference between what he gonna do when he get what he may do, I'm not gonna put that on him because I don't know, but what he may do when he get older versus what Jonathan's doing now that he is older is that Jonathan really was out there in them streets. So he making do a little something, something. Somebody gonna put their hands on Superior, and instead of him being light bright, almost white, he gonna be blue, green, and purple. Will it break him up? Who knows? Because then he might start putting his hands on the girl. Um, I understood when he said, "Don't bring your daddy into some shit." She said he watching a stream. Well, let him watch in peace. What you calling him for? Talking about me. That was being messy. Talk about that nigga to his face. Call him all kind of booty lickers and all of the things that the girls done spilled out about him. You can't. Because if you trigger him too much, he may tell you, get your kids and your shit and get out. You're not going to be able to stop him, even if you go back to the apartment that he pays for or has paid for, because you're going to need some help. And if you have to go to the county to get help, the county is going to demand that you put Superior in kindergarten and daycare and somewhere. He got to get there every day. So what you would have to do by yourself, you might as well do while you with this man. I got a 6-year-old grandson and he's not like that. Right. That's because most people know how to parent their children and know how to stop them when they're getting out of hand instead of just sitting there talking. Because you know what? When I look at Superior, you know what I see? I see one of them little Kardashian kids in him. He up there cussing everything. This shit gonna be fire. This shit, then he cussing, beat your ass. And I'm like, woo, somebody need to bust him right in the mouth one time real quick. He'll learn. He won't do it no more. But ain't nobody putting no hands on him. And again, it's not that I'm condoning what Blue is saying and doing, but I can definitely understand and see how he gets triggered. Because I get triggered. If I ask you, did you take the car to the gas? Did you go to the gas station to fill the tank up? While you running all around in the yard like you chasing squirrels instead of just saying yes and no, that is a major message to me. You just said something, you're stupid. Something is wrong with you when you can't answer yes or no to something as simple as that. All of that explaining and going down through the timeline means your wires are crossed. It's something either you not understanding or it's something you not trying to tell and you trying to bullshit your way around it like somebody stuck on stupid. And that triggers me the same way it triggers him. I still feel he don't need to call her out her name, but I'm going to tell you something. She got it easy right now. She said a lot of things when she was pregnant about what she was going to do once she dropped this baby and what she was going to do when she get her, when she drop her weight and get her shape back and what. Did y'all hear him tell her the other day, I want to say it was the day right after she had the baby, that she needed to get a BBL? I seen him standing on top of that table. Girl, I would have grabbed a fork or a spatula and started whopping him until he got off that bitch. Whether he fell face first or he jumped down, didn't matter. I'd have whopped him until he got up off of it. A table is not for a child to stand on. Now, when he was talking about cleaning the house, she says the dog pee all in the house. Is the dog poop all in the house? Is it dog? I was thinking to myself, what that got to do with Superior and his toys, Blue and his clothes and his bullshit and all the like, girl, what does that got to do with anything? But you think that if you stand up and say stupid shit that you really standing up, you're thinking, well, I'm showing them that I'm not taking it, yes, but you taking all of it because you are stupid. What did that have to do with anything? You should have just shut. See, listen, I know I say some shit in a minute that may not have shit to do with Shinola, but you can ask me a question and I can give you a straight answer, and it ain't gonna take me 10 minutes to give it to you. Either I know the answer or I don't, and if I don't, I'll Google it. If I don't, I'll ask somebody. But a straight answer does not require explanation unless you lying or hiding something. And that right there is gonna be what get her. Now, while she talking about what she will do and what she can do, and she can do this, and I can make money going on straight, and I can do. Girl, you are damaging your brand every time he call you out your name. Every time he puts your weaknesses out on the internet, on the table in front of everybody to see, he's damaging your brand. And you, my friend, are damaged goods. 9 p.m., yeah. Supposed should be in bed at 8 o'clock. Should be in the bed at 8 o'clock and up at 6 and at school by 7 with a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Sure does. But she doesn't have it in her. And that's what frustrates her. And I believe a lot of the things he does when he acts out, when he's going out here and hanging with these girls and saying all of the thing and loved up and doing, I think he's trying to, what is the word, damage her or push her into getting like the girls that he wants. She, like many others, think the baby is gonna keep the man. The question is the man worth keeping? See, these women out here now, they just, every time they lay down, they come up with a baby. They're not thinking about who they having a baby with. They ain't trying to make this nigga strap up. They ain't trying to take no birth control pills. They just laying down, popping them out, popping them out, popping them out, with no sense of direction, no future plans of what they want for their family, for their kids, for themselves. To make sure that the nigga you have a baby by is going to be there to help you whether you with him or not. But again, to me, in my eyes, that's desperation. Because how can you want more for him than you want for yourself? If you don't want shit for yourself, but you making sure he don't have to want for nothing, your priorities are fucked up. There's something wrong with your thought processes. And I wish we could, we could get up here and talk. Matter of fact, let me drop the link. Because I definitely want to hear somebody else's thoughts about 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 what they think could be done different, what they think is going on. What do you think is on her mind? Because you got to be the dumbest bird in the damn chicken coop to say you gonna stay with a nigga that's dogging you out. I don't give a damn what bills he paying, what he buy you, what he get you, how much he pay you. It's not worth it. If somebody dropped that nigga around the corner, what did he leave you? Nothing. And unless you the wife, unless he got a will, or y'all are legally and legitimate married, you did all of that for what? Because in 6 months you won't have shit to show for it. Right? You getting $20,000, $30,000 a month. But if he tell y'all I'm going down to Miami for about 2 months and stay, you sit here and hold the house. If he don't leave the money to pay the bills, will they get paid? Will she be able to make 20,000 a month or 30,000 a month or whatever so that she can continue to pay him? Will she know who to pay? Will she have sense God gave a goat to call WAC 100 or call Bodine and say, hey, I need some help. I need to pay the rent. I need to pay utilities. Who can I call? Can y'all help me? Like what? And it's so frustrating and angry. That's why I had to come on here and say, some Nevaeh girl, you are an embarrassment to women. I'm just gonna tell you. I know you light bright, almost white. I think I seen the people saying that Debo was your daddy. I ain't too sure about that. Maybe he was your stepdaddy. But daddy, stepdaddy, whatever you want to call him, you are an embarrassment to women. You are not one of these young bitches that he's accustomed to fooling with. You have a child, so having a child should make you think better, do better, be better. You should want to see, okay, I'm 30 years old. Where do I want to be in 10 years from now, and how do I get there? Do I need a degree? Do I go to school? Do I get a job? You should be planning for you and your child's future instead of putting all your faith and reserve in a man that ain't married you. So where is the real commitment? Because having that baby and naming him Junior is not it. He got 3 other kids he don't do shit for. You ain't listening to the baby mamas? Like, girl, it's really, really unfortunate. And I hate to see young girls like that. But if you're going to be his floor mat, you can never be somebody else's queen. And I know Granny done told you that one man's trash is another man's treasure. Bitch, they gone. Ain't many of them out here left. It ain't many out here at all. Don't nobody want somebody that's been treated, mistreated, abused, kicked in the face, kicked in the nuts, then had kids done left, kids got illnesses, special needs and sicknesses and all. Listen, all the men gone. Because the men want to be with a woman that is equally yoked. What woman want to be with a nigga that ain't got as much as she got, if not more? Where they do that at? What nigga want a bitch ain't equal to where he got, ain't making what he got, bringing what he got or more? Who wants that? Who wants to be unequally yoked? I had kids. I raised kids. Kids are grown and gone. Now I want a nigga that's about on my level, if not higher. Well, if he's higher, you want a man that's rich. I would love to have one. But what he ain't gonna do is kick me down and mistreat me and emotionally abuse me. Because if I'm gonna be with him for the money, he can go out and sleep with whoever he wanna sleep with. He can do whatever he wanna do. Every week I'm pulling 50 G's out, throwing to the side to have for myself. I got life insurance policy on him. I'm making plans for if something happens so I can have a little nest egg if this thing should fall away. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm not big on, oh, I'm going shopping at the Chanel store in the Gucci. Y'all going to spend $5,000 for a blouse? Bitch. I'm going to buy 6 suits, 4 dresses, 3 jeans, 14 shorts, 10 t-shirts, drawers, and panties with that $5,000. I don't need to shop no more for another month or two. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just throw away money because you can, when what you should be doing is investing it. The kids today ain't got sense. God gave a goat. If you come up on 20, take 5 or 6 and flip it. Make it flip for you. If you come up on 100, take 20 or 30 and invest it in something and make it flip for you. Bitch, I wouldn't give a damn if you gambled on the horses or the dogs. It don't matter to me. Flip that shit. All these kids, they going and buy BBLs and titties and $400, $500, $600 wigs, and they buying teeth, and oh, I'm going to buy me a Maybach, bitch. As soon as you drive the car off the damn parking lot, it's depreciated. It ain't worth the $300,000 you paid for it. Soon as the wheels hit the street. But the kids, they're not in school. They not learning. They don't have a proper education to understand it because they're focused on some other shit. So now what they'll find up doing, and God knows, I pray to let me live long enough to see some of it. Then when you get 30, 40, 50 years old, when you're broke down and can't do nothing, you ain't got shit. You ain't got no savings, you ain't got no investments, you ain't got no retirement, you ain't got no house, no car, no husband, no, you got 10 STDs, 16 grandkids, and you taking treatment for the alphabet. Like, girl, I don't listen. You can tell who was raised by the seniors in the family, the matriarchs and patriarchs in the family. Because one thing about it, they pushed for you to get your education. They pushed for you to learn. They pushed for you to put yourself in a position to win all the time. So when you get up and hit that hill at 40 and you jump over that motherfucking hill at 50, bitch, you should have something to show for old age just round the corner waiting on you. You know what I'm saying? And it don't hurt to go shopping and go on trips. It does not hurt at all to splurge money. I splurge every other day. I'm a eater. I got a taste for this tonight and a taste for that tomorrow. Cook for what? I just want to eat. I do a little shopping every now and then. You know what I'm saying? I ration it out. One thing for certain and two things for sure. When the check come, all bills get paid. Now, if I'm broke, I'm broke. I'll go in a little stash and start spending from that if I have to. But I got a stash. I got a stash over here, a stash over there. I got something over there. I got some. What? If you don't plan for the future, you stuck in the past. That's what my used to always say. If you ain't planning for your future, you stuck in the past. Because the past was yesterday. What you got going for you next week? What you got going for you? How much you bringing in next week? The week after next? What are you doing with this? What are you doing with that? What's going on? What's happening? I didn't work all my life to get old and struggle and fall in the pit. Because, girl, up here in California, baby, I see the people that worked a little while and they can't work no more, and Social Security send them a $375 check. Bitch, that's lunch. Huh. I can eat $375 up in about an hour and a half. Mm-hmm. Without liquor. If you give me liquor, then it might take me a little bit longer. But you know what I'm saying? So it's like you got to think about it. If you look at the state that America's in right now, my coworker today was mad talking about them 300-pound metric tons of meat that they importing over here. And she's a Latina. She was going on and on and on about it. I looked at her and I said, listen, would you rather eat beef that is imported from God's nowhere and we don't even know if it's real beef, or would you rather eat the beef that the GMO been shot into and the boosters and the this and that? Because remember what they did to our cattle and stuff back 4, 5, 6 years ago. See, our animals are tainted. So when I heard that, I thought it was so weird. You ain't gonna tell us where you bringing it in from. But then I thought about it and I said, well, whoever it is, it's an ally because they need the money and they agreed to the deal. You made a better deal and said you'll waive the tariff. So we're doing favor for favor. But at the end of the day, you went from gas to food. We talked about all of this years ago in the dark room that this shit right here was coming. We talked about it 6, 7 years ago. You're trying to, without saying it, you're trying to get us some food over here to slow down what's really been going on behind the scenes for the last 6 years. But if you're not reading, not researching, not in the right groups to educate, motivate, and learn and prepare, then you wouldn't know. How about this for a trick? Y'all know we've been watching Gary, Indiana for 2 weeks be in the dark, right? Why yesterday they said some of Gary, Indiana still in the dark, some Arizona in the dark, some of Memphis, Tennessee in the dark, some of Georgia in the dark. Long Beach was in the dark yesterday. Now, word on the curb is this darkness supposed to be around for a little bit before we hit the 10 days. See, we don't get all that. We don't get into that. We don't get in there. But listen, I will say what I've said over the last 10 years. Prepare, prepare, prepare. If you ain't got at least 4 cases of water in the kitchen, you dragging. You ain't got your batteries, your radio, your matches, your lighters, your candles. If you ain't got your toilet tissue, your washing paper, your dishwasher, if you ain't ready to be in the dark for 2 weeks or more, you got something you can go outside and cook and not be hungry, you're not ready. You ain't been listening, and you better pay attention for your ass being dark and hungry. If you ain't stocked up on some of them bullets, you're not ready, you ain't been listening. Because what they can't get at the store, they can come to your house, come through the back window, and come on in and take whatever they need. You you can be mad at what's happening in the state of the world, but you better be paying attention and you better try to be ready. Because ain't nobody gonna announce it's coming, it's just gonna poof. I watched a man say he drove 2 hours from Gary, Indiana to a little town to get a hotel room because they had power. He said he wasn't there for an hour. Boop, the lights went out. So they heard an explosion up on the roof. The maintenance man said he can't get up there, whatever, whatever, whatever. It's, yeah, you know, you don't have to believe it, bitch, be ready. Because granny say what? If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. You understand how that go? Same way with a man. If you decide to cohabitate with a nigga and he decide to leave, can you pay the rent and the bills on your own? Because if not, you ain't been paying attention. You ain't learned shit, you ain't ready. If you go to live with a man and he put you out, can you have got somewhere to go for a couple of weeks or a month till you can get your own? Can you go boop, 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 boop? Because if not, then you ain't ready. You ain't been paying attention. You ain't learned shit. Some motherfuckers got to learn the hard way, and even then, they ain't got sense enough to put two and two together to come up with four. Some people need help. And whether I like how this man talks to her or not, he's trying to help her. The problem is she really not listening. And she say stupid. And listen, listen, I can understand him getting triggered. I done said it 2, 3, 4, 5 times. I ain't got to say it again. The man told her facts. Don't put your dad and family in the middle of it. You chose to be here, deal with it. And that's a fact. If you got with a low down dirty dog that call his women this, that, and other, he making babies every time he drop his drawers, he come up with a seed or two. Why do you want to have a baby by that type of nigga? When you can really not have a baby, continue to take care of your child on his dime, and when you looking at him on stream at the club in Miami, call your homegirls up and y'all go to the club in Louisiana. I'm just using that as an example, not specific places. Y'all go out and have a few drinks. You ain't got to do nothing wrong. Will he be mad? Maybe he will. Will it be a problem? Maybe it is. But if he been giving you $20,000 and $30,000 a month, hopefully you have sense enough to put it aside so if shit go down, you can afford to move on about your business. But these women, they get digmatized, girl, they get stupid. So you can't really help nobody like that. They are doomed. And I'm gonna tell you something. I pray for the weak. I do. I pray for the weak. I pray for the strong. I pray for the slow. I pray for the smart. One thing about it, we are all God's kids. And I believe at some point we are all covered by the blood. But God gave you common fucking sense, even for the autistic, even for the special needs, even for the retarded. And if you don't use what he gave you, girl, go ahead on the hell 60 miles an hour by your goddamn self. I'm not going. I'm not going to go. Anything could happen and put you in a different state. I've seen the girl go out and dog licked on the face, ate a whole fucking face off just about. My sister doing laundry, shook her man's dirt out, inhaled the red dirt, ate her whole damn throat out. Like, you could lose your speech. Do you know a little bit of sign language? Do you know any type of other language other than English? Then how would you communicate? How could you know what I'm saying, communicate with somebody if you're not able to do nothing. Can't nobody read your handwriting. You can't print worth a damn, and your cursive is not readable. Like, it is so much we can do to better ourselves. But instead, you want to change how your body look. You want to get some more teeth. So I need teeth too. It's all right. You can better your aesthetic, but get your priorities lined up first before you jump up and start, making decisions that will leave you busted and dusted. You know what I'm saying? So I just had to come on here and speak on that because it was just kind of like I can see where his frustration comes. Because the more he try to talk to her, the more she want to try to argue. But you ain't even got an argument, girl. You just be talking like you ain't scared. Or you ain't a punk. Well, you a dumb scared punk. That's what you look like. The more you talk, the dumber you look. The more scared you look. Just stop talking and let the man vent and rant. He'll shut up in a minute, unless he high. And that's when you just don't talk no more. When y'all get to the house, get on now, go on, take your kids on in the house, and go sit down and watch TV. But you calling to vent to somebody else, and you're not willing to accept what they're giving you. Why call them? Just to be talking? Cause if that's all you do, then let's talk. Cause girl, I can tell you some shit. You the dumb one. Why you still there? Don't listen. If you done already made up in your mind that you gonna stay, girl, stay in peace. Shut the fuck up. Don't nobody want to hear that shit. We not trauma bonding. I got my shit. You got your shit. It's one thing we can call and talk and we can vent off of each other. But if you're venting about some stupid shit that you chose and now you can't get out of it, now you don't want to get out of it, but you don't like it and you're unhappy, girl, that's that dumb shit. Now you got sense enough to make a change, and if you can't, then shut up and take that shit. Like her daddy told her on the phone, stop crying, stop being weak, stop being a punk. Stand up to that nigga, F that nigga, whoop, 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 whoop. He said all of that. Do that. Be you. Don't dumb down. Don't become a weak puss ass bitch just because of how this nigga talking to you, because that ain't what attracted him to you. Your willingness to talk shit, fight back, whatever. Now you cry. When you was pregnant, you could use the baby as an excuse. You can't do that no more. Baby's born. Postpartum will cause you to lose your emotions, but again, Google will tell you men can have postpartum too. So now both y'all in there flipping out on y'all period in front of the little bitty one that you won't let him lay somewhere and get some rest by himself. You think holding him is the answer? You gonna make him spoil, runt, and then when it's time for somebody to help you with him, they're not gonna be able to help you because he's gonna be expecting somebody to hold him 24/7. So you got to be thinking about these things, but she doesn't appear to be thinking about nothing but him and what he doing. She think that what she's doing okay when she knows she wrong, which is why she can never answer a straight question. She ain't slow, she ain't retarded. She doing that shit for a reason. I think she don't think he gonna call out, but like he said, she should know better by now. You still here? Well, if you mad, leave. I ain't going nowhere. I ain't never leaving. I said to myself, oh, she don't know. She looks like a fucking bozo with the big red nose. Like, girl, don't. They get my blood pressure up just talking about it, just repeating it. Because it's like women that have kids, I used to look up women that had kids, especially had more than one kid, and they was holding down the house. I looked at them as strong women. Strong, they took care of business by any means necessary. They wasn't taking no shit off nobody. They gonna do what they do, sell tongue, kick, cat, booty, chest, under armpits, under titty pits. They gonna do whatever they gotta do to make sure them and their kids are straight. But I tell you something, over my lifetime, I've seen so much. And it's okay if you want your kids to have a two-parent household. If you're going to take the abuse, make sure you're married. Make sure you're married. Because if you used to mess around and sprinkle some in that spaghetti that wasn't sugar, that wasn't Parmesan cheese, and he croaked the night, at least you get a settlement check, you can continue to live your life. So anyway, child, I'm done talking my dumb shit because I can't, I have to take that in small doses, and I have had 8 hours of today. So anyway, y'all pray for those who can't pray for themselves. Help those who need the help, and not those that choose to be helpless. God bless, and I'm out.